What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is Eagle Eye, the transfer rumor show where I talk to you about rumors, news surrounding the Arsenal. Before we get going, please do stick a massive thumbs up on this video. It really does help the show get noticed. I know I literally bang on about it all the time. I am very conscious I bang on about it all the time, but the Life Squad, this is what you do. This is your job. And it really does make a difference to the overall product when you guys get going on them likes. So stomp a mod hole on those likes for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Secondly, apologies for going a bit early. When I realized Lee was going on early, that's straight up why I changed the time. As soon as I realized Lee was going on, I thought, flip, wish you gave me a heads up. I decided to go on early, but this is exactly why. Obviously, I know that a lot of my subscribers are Lee subscribers as well, and a lot of people come bitching saying, "Oh, why do you go live when Lee's going live?" And I know they say the same thing to them as well. So we try not to make you guys conflict if possible. So that's a lot of the reason I've gone live. So even more reason to stick a like on this video, because I'm sure there are people expecting me to go live at 7, and obviously I'm not doing that. I'm going live a bit earlier. So please do stick a like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Typically every single weekday, I'll come to you at 7 p.m. with transfer rumor news, which is what this show is. So sit back, keep it locked, and I promise you'll enjoy. Just some quick housekeeping notice board, whatever you would call it. So things happening with this channel. Hopefully my membership should be up and running by this weekend. I wanted it to be up and running by today. YouTube basically say it will take 24 hours to get everything approved, but I did that last night in terms of putting everything through. I've still not finished all my emojis or all my badges. I want to personalize some badges, but I've kind of got the gist over to YouTube, so they're having a look at it in terms of the things that I'm offering. So hopefully that will go live very shortly. What I will do over the weekend, normally I don't do a show over the weekend, but I might do a short FIFA stream over the weekend. And literally you guys can have a look at some of the kind of progress I've been making in my league. I've literally played 10 games. In the first game of the first season of the league. So it's not like you're missing out on much. Currently second. I'll show you what my team looks like. I did do that in a community post the other day, but just in case you guys have forgotten, I'll re-show you what my team looks like. And yeah, we'll take you on the journey of Chig on FIFA. So hopefully that should be fun. All right, let's get going. Let's talk about Mr. Roberto Martinez. He is the Belgian manager. And to be fair, he's doing well for Belgium. To be honest, and I've heard some people say it's pretty hard to screw that job up. But for some unusual reason, his agents come out talking. Obviously, when Unai Emery was sacked, it took a while to sack him. The belief being that we were trying to line up a successor. And we were always under the impression that Mikel Arteta was the first choice option. I still think that was more or less the case, but the agent has thrown a little bit of doubt into that. Just on a random, he was doing an interview. By the way, this story is on sportswitness.co.uk, because I know people like knowing where I got these stories from. So that's where I've got this one from. And he says, when talking to DH, whatever DH is, I have no idea what DH was. Says here, when talking to DH, at least that's what Roberto Martinez agent Jesse De Preter says, suggested when talking to DH, as his client revealed, currently in charge of the Belgian national team, received an offer from the Gunners after they sacked Emery on the 29th of November and was seen as their, quote, dream option. He admitted, yes, he received a very. This is from his agent. This is why I think it's. This is why I think it's bullshit. But I thought it was interesting. You guys give your opinion. He admitted, yes, he received a very concrete offer from Arsenal, but he refused it. The agent also explained that Real Madrid came forward for Martinez, but the former Wigan manager remained committed to his task with Belgium as he signed a new contract. Sorry, he signed a contract. He recently signed a contract until after the 2022 World Cup. But the Spanish manager does have a clause in the deal allowing him to leave if a club he wants to manage comes forward. Now, oh, sorry. He goes on, the agent. De Prita said, I'm not going to reveal the details, but the compensation to pay will depend on the club that wants him. As DH said, this would mean the bigger the club, the bigger the compensation. Now, yeah, I need to try and unpack this. Normally, I could believe Arsenal would want someone like this because for all of Martinez's faults that we at least remember when he managed the likes of Wigan, when he managed the likes of Everton, for all of his faults, I can absolutely believe that our hierarchy would be short-sighted enough to say, "Oh well, he plays the ball with the ball on the ground, so we better go get him." And they would actually foolishly go and get him. I don't really have any problem with Martinez, and actually, and this is where I'm consistent because I know what people are going to say. Actually, if you look on the basis of would you rather a Mikel Arteta or someone that has at least managed in the league before, not that well, but managed in the league before, there's an argument to be made that maybe Martinez would have been a better choice. Now, for anyone who's got short-sighted, don't get it twisted. This is not an Arteta bashing show. I want to make that nice and clear. I've always said that I feel that the logic of hiring Arteta in the first place is a flawed one, and it is. There is no getting away from that. I'm sorry. If you want to hate me for that, so be it. But the idea, the notion of giving someone who is a novice a job like Arsenal still doesn't sit particularly great with me. But I'm not calling for his head. Having said that, there's an argument that maybe Martinez may have been the better choice. Now, don't get me wrong, I have never rated Roberto Martinez. That's why I'm laughing. I've never rated Roberto Martinez, ever. Not ever. I've always thought he's a sucky manager. Always. Always thought he's a weak manager. I don't go down if he plays the ball plays football the right way, whatever the heck that means. The right way is the winning way, as far as I'm concerned. So I think from my perspective, do I think that this agent is talking sense? No, I think it's BS, especially when he says some nonsense like, well, Real Madrid approached him, but he turned them down for Belgium. With all due respect to Belgium, come the heck on, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying necessarily Real Madrid. I mean, there's an argument to be made that actually turning down a Real Madrid makes a lot of sense. Roberto Martinez ain't staying in that job longer than 6 months at Real Madrid. Let's be real here. But I just find it hard to believe that you've put a clause in there to say if a big club comes in, then you'll go. 2 big clubs come in and you turn them down for Belgium. Shut up. Bro, shut up. No, I don't believe that. I do believe that Arteta was, rightly or wrongly, Arteta was their number one choice. And they've always wanted someone young. Don't get it twisted. It's not like Roberto Martinez is old. He was pretty young when he managed Wigan. I think he's like in his mid-40s now. which was similar sort of age to Emre. So I don't necessarily believe that he wouldn't necessarily be in their thinking, but to have made an offer, I don't think so. I completely think that this story is all BS, and this is where agents, I think, deliberately do something like this to get clubs thinking that, oh well, if Arsenal and Madrid are considering Roberto Martinez, maybe it's not so silly. So, what do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Let's start talking about some more interesting stories, shall we? Now, you're probably my suspicion, and I'm going to call it now. I'm annoyed because I can't find the story. Whenever I give you guys a story, I try and refer where I've got it from, just so that you guys can see I'm not just making up these stories willy-nilly, that I've actually got it from certain places. Now, in looking for this Roberto Martinez story, I stumbled across this next story, and now I've lost the source. So I'm not going to go too deep into it. But I saw a story, apparently, that Arsenal aren't interested in signing Depay from Lyon. And they are very much considering this deal. I can't really go too tough into the story because, I wanted to kind of see if there was a quote or, what sort of reason have they come up with to suggest that Depay is the latest target. It'd be very interesting if that's the case. Depay has certainly done well for Lyon. He wouldn't be a choice I would personally make for Arsenal. I know that's controversial. I know a lot of people would have him. I'm not one of those guys. I still think Saka could do the job. I'm worried about. There's some certain stories like that I'm worried about. Like we're looking for a left winger or we're looking for a left back, and I'll come on to that left back story in a second. I'm thinking to myself, but why wouldn't you just trust Saka and Tierney to do the job? So I'm a little concerned by that. But anyway, I suppose let's transition into that left back story. This is probably one of the biggest stories of the day that's being widely reported. And it probably fits in line with the fact that we were supposedly very interested in Kazawa from PSG. Well, this story has further developed, and it looks as though we are very, very interested in a £20 million bid for Tagliafico. Never pronounce that name confidently. Tagliafico. I'm literally saying it how it's spelled, by the way. How it's pronounced could be something completely different. The Dutch usually pronounce it slightly differently, so it's very possible. I know he's not Dutch, people, before someone says. Anyway, forgotten what flow now. So obviously, he very recently, maybe earlier this week, told his club that he's looking for a bigger challenge, and he feels as though the Premier League is that challenge. He's obviously a very good left back. For those of you who remember, I did a Chig Knows Best video series. What was it? A year ago? I feel like it was a year ago. It was for sure last summer. It was last. In fact, I actually tell a lie. It was this time last year. I did a Chig Knows Best video series. For anyone who's looking at what I'm talking about, go into my playlist. Go to Chig Knows Best. Go to Chig Knows Left Backs. Right, just in case you want to verify that what I'm saying is true. Basically, I did a video series talking about potential left backs. Ironically, Kieran Tierney wasn't one of them. Now, I mentioned Kieran Tierney in the video. I say that basically that I would, don't get me wrong, I would have him, but I didn't think he was an option at the time because I learned then that he had a double hernia surgery, so I didn't think he was going to be available last year. But little did I know, little did I underestimate our ability to sign injured players. I also like doing it. I also love signing an injured player. So I kind of discounted him. but I gave him an honourable mention. But actually, Tagliafico was my choice as left back I would go for. I think he's very, very, very good. He's got a lot of attributes I like, would add a lot to the team. He's now 27 years old, and obviously he's looking for a big challenge. Understandably so. He's now in the prime of his career. My thing is, I can't see this deal happen. I know it's being widely reported was supposedly very interested. For me, I think it's much more likely he goes to Chelsea. I don't understand why you would battle as hard as we did for Kieran Tierney last year, making bid after bid after bid after negotiation after bid, to then go and spend 20 million on another left back a year later when Tierney hasn't really had a chance to show what he could do. Coupled with the fact that it was only last week that Arteta was talking Kieran Tierney up. And actually, from my perspective, I was quite happy about that. I was kind of like, yeah, good. do you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I'm pleased because for me, I think he's the future. I think he could be so good given a chance. I know there's some people that disagree with that. I've got a feeling if he can stay fit, and I suppose that's the reason that they're potentially looking at left backs because they're not sure they can trust Tierney's injury problems. Actually, what's his name has had a few injuries as well, Kolasinac. And I actually don't think Arteta rates out Kolasinac. He's more. I'll be shocked if Kolasinac is still here this time at the end of the summer. So I think it does pose a lot of questions. We certainly need to be ruthless with our squad, but not with the likes of Tierney, surely. But what do you guys think? Let me know. A lot of the stories you'll see about Tagliafico is that the headline is Arsenal interested in left back that will allow Saka to move forward. Well, mind that, but we've already got one. So I don't know. For me, if we supposedly have little funds, so let's not waste it on a left back unless you are confident you can find someone better than Kolasinac. But in my view, I just feel like the little money we do have should be focused on areas that we actually need focusing on. Again, what do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Let's talk about Shkodran Mustafi. So I think somebody asked me, I can't remember, forgive me, I've completely forgotten. Somebody asked you yesterday, oh, but Chick, surely you've heard about someone that wants to buy Mustafi. Like you're always talking about people that Arsenal are going to buy. Isn't anyone else going to leave the club? And it's almost as though somebody was watching the stream yesterday and decided, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna give you a story, and that is Shkodran Mustafi. Now we know that this was a player that actually not even Arsene Wenger identified. That Ivan Gazidis decided to buy in 2016 on the basis of what I can only describe as a statistician machine. Yep, that was the way they used to recruit players. In fact, the story came out about 3 weeks ago that Lucas Perez and Shkodran Mustafi were two players that were selected on the basis of this machine. And that Lucas Perez should have never been anywhere near Arsenal because at best he's a mid-table player. It's like damning words. I'll stick by it. I always liked Lucas Perez when he played at Arsenal, but it seemed like when he left Arsenal, it just became a shadow of himself. I didn't think he was that bad. I thought he did well when he was in the team. Got benched after scoring hat tricks and shit. I don't know, but anyway, I digress. Shkodran Mustafi is a player that you guys know is not my favorite. In fact, so much so I can't wait for him to go. But according to the few stories actually about talking about it today, that Mustafi, who was bigging up Arteta over the summer, is now being linked. Sorry, I'm just getting up the story now. Is now being linked with a move away from the club to his beloved favorite chairman, and that is Ivan Gazidis. Sorry, I'm so distracted. I can't do talking and looking at the same time. So apologies. Let me just get this damn story up. So this obviously has developed since I read the story this morning. Basically, it's being widely reported. I'm reading a story right now from the Daily Express. Now, Arsenal decided that Mustafi's transfer price as the defender is not in Mikel Arteta's plans. He's looking to be heading towards the exit door. Mustafi every summer is looking towards the exit door. The guy is like a cockroach. He somehow survives every single time. We've placed, essentially, this story talks about the fact that Arsenal have placed a 10 million euro price tag. To me, very reasonable. I think Mustafi is in the last year of his deal come the end of the summer. He's 27, going on 28, I believe, years old. I think so. So we're not talking about someone who is old or over the hill. We've still got time to reinvent himself and do something. He is a World Cup winner. These are the ways we need to market it. Yeah, we're going to lose a lot of money on him, but to be honest, so he's already 28. So we're going to lose a lot of money on him, but quite frankly, we ain't getting no 35 million for him. So I think it's one of them ones where almost the best possible deal we can make. Let's just make the deal, get him off the books. That's 90 grand he's on. Just get him off the books and move on. You know, we need to be ruthless this summer, ruthless with the players that need to go. In my mind, I've made peace with the fact that no matter what we do, Meza will be here. I think Granit Xhaka has amazing PR internally, so I don't think he's going to go. So I think if we can at least get rid of the rest, I'll take that. I'll take that dub. Let's just move on. That's kind of my attitude. And Mustafi, to me, unfortunately, is one of the heads of those people we need to get rid of. We'll see what happens. AC Milan are apparently very keen. I think it's more that Ivan that's keen than AC themselves. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Another story I'm not going to touch at the moment because I can't find it, but I know I saw it, which was one about us being linked with PSG's right back. I think that story is going to come up tomorrow. When it does, make sure you give me some props. But I can't seem to find it now, so I'm going to have to let it go. So I won't go too much into it. But what I will talk about is two more stories. One very quickly, Arsenal are being linked with another right back called Can Kurtz. Now, this is a story I can honestly believe Arsenal will go for. This is a kid who's 18 years old. He plays for Borussia Dortmund. Excuse me, let me try that again. Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's 18 years old. He plays for their second team in the 4th division. So he hasn't made a senior appearance yet, but he's being valued at 4 million. Us and supposedly Chelsea are interested in this kid. Obviously, we need a right back, but I don't want this right back to be learning off Hector Bellerin. So if we could get this PSG geezer in as well, this Thomas Manure, I think that would be more of an understudy I would prefer him to have. At least my man can cross the ball. And he's 28 years old. So what do you guys think? Let me know. As always, leave it in the comments below. The final story, you knew there weren't going to be a day that I was going to let this story pass without talking about Mr. Thomas Partey. Further developments have happened here. Supposedly, Atletico Madrid have actually identified a replacement for Partey. Arsenal are eager to bring the Ghanaian to the Premier League as Arteta looks to construct a new spine, yada, yada, yada. Standouts, yada, yada, yada. They claim Getafe's Moro Ambari or Amabari. I think I've said that right. Actually think I've said that right. Arabami. Aram Barry. What am I reading? Aram Barry. So obvious now. I see. Aram Barry is the main man in their sights. The 25-year-old just missed 2 league matches all season for the 5th place club, Madrid. So obviously they're very keen on this Mara Aram Barry. Atletico picked out the Uruguay international Aram Barry, who would cost £18 million or 20 million euros. So at least they've got a replacement. That's always a good telltale sign. Coupled with the fact that, I don't know if you guys managed to see Lee's stream maybe 5-10 minutes ago. If you haven't, go check it out. Obviously, that was about Partey, so you know I was paying attention. You know I was paying attention. And he basically was talking about the fact that there was a journalist who has contacts that believe that this move is a very real possibility, that both the player wants it, the club wants it. We've seen stories constantly over the last few weeks that this is Arteta's #1 priority. Flip, this was Emre's #1 priority. Let's call it what it is. This is Emre's #1 priority from last year. This is a player we've been linked with for 2 years, Partey. So it's someone we're very interested in. If rumours are to believe, he was interested in coming last year. That's what David Ornstein said. He was interested in coming last year. So this is why I've always maintained, to me, it's never been impossible. The only thing that worries me is if Arsenal are about that life. And so often they show they ain't about that life. Even when the player wants to come. See Hakim Ziyech. I still ain't forgiving him about that. Yeah, I think from my perspective, at least the idea that rumours that they've identified a replacement and they've almost accepted that Partey could be leaving is fantastic news. And as I said yesterday, I went on one yesterday because I know what Arsenal are like. Arsenal are one of them sort of teams. Go and get Rabiot and be satisfied with that and not go that extra mile to go and get Partey. Now, if you're going to partner Partey with Rabiot, it's not what I would do, but I would accept it. At least these are 2 geezers who are sizable guys and that actually would complement each other pretty well in that midfield. But we need that midfield reconstructed completely. Bringing in 2 guys like that potentially would do it. I think people got it twisted yesterday. Believe me, I won't say Rabiot was a crap player, but he's not a DM, for flip's sake. But anyway, I digress. I don't want to go on too long because I know I'll clash with Wonder Boy. So shall we do 10 more minutes before I know Lee goes on? Once Lee goes on, make sure you head over there and give him some love ahead of the watch-along that he'll do. I'm not going to go on this watch-along, but I'll talk to him ahead of tomorrow's one, and we'll go from there. Just some quick plugs. 9:30 tonight. I will be going on the Combat Show with the boys. Me, Will, Ola will be talking more John Jones, Francis Ngannou. We'll be talking more about up-and-coming events, up-and-coming fights. We're going to freestyle this one because I genuinely don't know what we're going to talk about. But loads of little tidbits have happened in the boxing and MMA world this week. So I'm sure I'll be able to, as I always, navigate them into an argument. That's basically my role. So make sure you do check that out. Chick Flicks. I put a review of, what's it called? The Last Dance. Didn't realize the audio was terrible. Because like a plum, I left my headphones in the laptop and I'm just speaking like this. And I did not realize that actually these motherfuckers can't hear me properly. So I didn't realize. It was only until somebody sent me a message on DM on Insta. I was like, oh shit. So I've deleted that. I'm going to re-record that tonight, literally straight after the show. I was supposed to do it this afternoon, but work got a bit mad. I had to tend to that. So make sure you stick around. for Chick Flicks on the Chick Flicks channel. Don't miss that. In terms of this, I'm going to be FIFA heavy tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. I'm literally doing nothing but walking and playing FIFA tomorrow. Because I got to get some exercise. I feel a bit, ugh. So I'm going to go get some exercise tomorrow. But then other than that, it's going to be FIFA day tomorrow. So make sure you don't miss that. Hopefully, all fingers crossed, YouTube give me the go-ahead, and that'll be the members stream. So look out for that. I think that is pretty much it. I think I covered everything. All right, let's go into the chat room and see what you lot are saying. 120 comments. Oh my goodness. Wait. I saw a donation. Mr. DJ Crane, big up to you, my guy. Thank you, bro. All for you, brother. All for you. Thank you, my guy. Appreciate it. Thank you for the love. All right, let's see what you lot are saying. The man that will repeat his message unless I read it. Greetings from Toronto. Great show. If we get Partey started and Sangara flowing, it would be the best news of these times for Arsenal fans. Praying this comes true. Oh, for me, if only those two signings happen, I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy. I don't think we'd get both. I don't. I'm still hoping we at least get Partey, even if it's Partey and Adrian Rabiot. I'll take that too. Thank you, Melina. Yes, please do stick a like on this video if you haven't already. Them likes are important. The guy with the best first name in the land. Could you put a percentage on the chance of Partey being signed? Love the stream shit. It was you that asked me this question last time. You asked me this question 2-3 weeks ago, and I said 12%. And then somebody else was like, what, you don't think this deal is dead? And I said, no. Then I answered it the day after, and I said, all right, I'll give it 25%. Now, it's just Arsenal. It's just Arsenal that worry me. I'm going to give it 37%. 37% chance that it happens. 37. My favorite Chelsea fan. Carefree CFC. All Chelsea fans absolutely love Ziyech. He already knows the team very well. He's always wanted to play in the Premier League, bro. So it doesn't surprise me. Look after him. We should have had him. He should have been the Mesut Ozil replacement. We should have had him. Look after him. I'm sure he'll do great for you. I'm sure about that. Partey would be a great upgrade. Keep up the good work, Chin. Bless you, my guy. That's my favorite Swede. See, I know you lot. Don't worry about that. Yeah, see, that's my worry. I'm getting Ziyech flashbacks. Just the same way that Partey wants to come and he ends up at United or some shit. Or Kante, when he came from Leicester, ended up Chelsea or some shit. I just hope Arsenal just please get that deal done. I'm not as confident as 50%. It's Arsenal. I know my team. My team have a habit of snatching defeat. Knowing that we need Partey, they are the type of team that will go and spend money, big money on a right winger. They're that sort of team. So I don't know. I'm not as confident. I'm going to say 37%. Okay. I see everyone's bullying Omar again. Omar, don't have it, man. Time these lot out. don't have it. Stand up for yourself, Darren. Chris, another one with the best first name in the world. Both are 6 foot tall and very physical. They are both very physical. I will say that. I do think Rabiot is still a little bit overrated. Just my opinion. But I think they are both will be a presence in that midfield. That's for damn sure. My combat show co-host, big up, big up, big up. Is it Charles Watts? Charles Watts, yes. I missed the beginning of Lee's stream, but yes, Charles Watts is the person that Lee got his source from. So Claude was saying on Robbie's stream that he had inside info that Uber's signing a 1-year extension with an option for an additional year if we make the Champions League. I don't mind that deal. To be fair to Claude, he said that for a long time. He even says that in I'm in a group chat with Claude. He even says that in that group that he reckons that that's what's going to happen. That he'll sign. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll completely take that. It gives people like Martinelli 1 more year to just learn a little bit more from Uber. You know, particularly if this Edouard guy is one guy that supposedly we want to replace Aubameyang. Gives him 1 more year to develop as well. Supposedly he doesn't want to leave Celtic this summer. I've got a couple of. I don't want to ITK it. I've got a couple of sources that say ideally he wants 1 more year at Celtic. Ideally, just to develop a little bit more. So if you're wondering why I don't bang on about him, that's because I have. It's my understanding that that's the case. Do you think Haaland will be the next R9? Good man. He is good. He is good. My guy. I don't care if it's Banks. I don't care if it's Banks, Omar. You stand up for yourself, damn it. Chig, do vlogs. That's part. Well, it was going to be a surprise, but that may be part of the members stream. Guess we're going to have to find out. Give him that smoke. Oh, give him that smoke. Claude's Brendan is Arteta. Claude is old school, man. That's my uncle right there. Yeah, leave him alone. I think Saka has already signed. He posted. Yeah, I saw that story yesterday. You're gonna allow these guys. You're gonna allow these players to wind you lot up. But yeah, I supposedly Arsenal. Arsenal sent one. Oh, and I'll talk about Santi in a second. Arsenal put one a cryptic tweet out, and lots of people are getting excited that Saka's signed. I'm hoping he has. I am hoping he has. Like I've always said it, for me, he's more important these days than even Aubameyang. Purely for a few different reasons. But one of the main reasons, in my opinion, it's you don't want an 18-year-old to look at the club and think, nah, this club ain't ambitious enough. It's one thing if a 30 to 31-year-old does it, who's clearly world class, at least a world class finisher. I'll give him that. Right? He's a world class goal scorer. I'll give him that. It's one thing if he does it, but when an 18-year-old does it, it don't send a good message, man. So I think for me, it's more important he stays. So I hope so. As for the Santi thing, I've spoken about this before, and I'll say this again. I would love Santi to come back as a coach. Teach these motherfuckers a thing or two. I would love him to come back as a coach. Absolutely. Michael Mwamba. Hi, Sig. Who's Sig? Who is Sig? Since the Premier League greenlit Arsenal's takeover, should we be crapping our pants? Mate, we're already ninth. So we can't get much lower. We're already ninth. I think is more of an accurate description. Yeah, I think that's more of an accurate description. All right, a couple more questions because I know Lee's about to go live. Um, Hopefully, you'll be 5 minutes late. What do you think, Arsenal? What do you think of that Arsenal legend slamming Pepe? Oh yeah, to me, right? I see this story, and this is the second time in a week or so where I've seen somebody criticizing Pepe, and I'm sat there and I'm thinking, if you not actually care about Arsenal the way you say it, obviously Arsenal are not going to sell him this summer. Why not try and I don't know encourage him? Well, if you're Pepe and you're seeing, mind you, one of your country people who also used to play for the club criticize criticize you, all because you've had a season where, in my opinion, you ain't done the worst. You've not done that bad. You've had four different managers, and it's in a season where all this crap is going on. I mean, cut the man some slack. Flipping heck. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing, oh, Pepe's a flop. Oh, it was a mistake to go and get. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It for me it was a mistake to get Pepe in the scheme of we needed a defender. But flipping heck, got the boy some slack. I can't honestly. I can't wait until this motherfucker goes off. Once he goes off, you are not gonna like Smug Chig. You ain't gonna like. If anyone ain't met Smug Chig, you're not gonna like what is next gonna happen. I believe this man will do well. I promise you, he'll do well. I promise. I'm so confident about that. Saw that. I got pissed off reading it. Stop reading it. And I'm coming from Jermaine Aladir. For flip's sake, bro. Calm down, mate. You weren't exactly an integral piece in Arsenal's history. You were barely a super sub. And less of a super. You're barely a sub sometimes. That got on my nerves when I saw that. Chris Simpson, would you prefer Martinelli being played up front or on the left? Up front. 100. The man's a striker. 100%. A couple more. Miss Smith's in the house with her Spurs boyfriend. Boo. They can sign Santi up too. Yeah, I would love Santi to come. I've got to answer Ola's question. Who is the player that got away in your opinion, people? Oh, he's asking you lot. Who else did you lot? The one that got away, who we realistically could have signed. Gosh, there are so many. That's the problem. I'm going to let you guys answer that, but there are so many. There is so many. I like this Mubalala Laba brother already. The name is Sig. It's so get a run to that. See why I like. See why I like getting Will to bully you. That's exactly why. Comments like that. Smug, sick. Oh boy. Chig, will it down the haters. Pepe will come good. Suarez. Yeah, you're right. It is Suarez. It is Suarez. Because Ronaldo, all right, there are probably loads of instances where a young 17-year-old goes and you don't necessarily think about it again and suddenly they become a superstar. Ibra, maybe I think that's a close second as well. But Suarez was the guy that we knew was a superstar. We were so close to getting him, and then we took the piss. So for me, it's Suarez. Pepe is a flop. Pez or FIFA? It's got to be Pez. I've got a FIFA. It's got to be Pez though. I know that ruins any chance I have of a FIFA sponsorship. It's got to be Pez. I ain't gonna lie. BS or Pez. All right, one more question and I'm out. One more question and I'm out. Please do stick a like on this video before you bounce. Remember, Lee, if he hasn't already, is about to go live. So make sure you join him. Tell him I sent you. Give me one more question before I get up out of here. Remember, guys, the combat show is at 9:30 tonight. Link is in the description below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Chick Flicks, I'm going to be doing some work on that. Just realized tonight I'm doing work on every single channel. Chick Flicks, I'm going to be re-recording my my Last Dance review. Make sure you check that out later tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to be doing all sorts of FIFA streams, so make sure you check that out too. Mainly for the membership, yes, but I will be doing a free one for you guys as well. So make sure you check that out. And yeah, that's pretty much that, guys. One more question, guys. Let's see what Miss Smith has to say. Yes, Jig, I remember when they did that stupid offer for Suarez. I remember when I remember my I remember me oh, okay. I remember when she I remember I'm guessing that's supposed to say mum when she was alive on the phone to Joe and said that was gonna happen. That man eats people. Ah, so did Tyson. It doesn't stop them being good though. All right, let's go with this. Let's finish off with Chris. Chig, if we sign a left wing, who would you want it to be? Diaby, Kluivert, Lamar, or Rafa Silva? Forget the last two. I'm still not convinced by this Kluivert guy. I know people will say, "Oh, he's good, though. He's good." I still think there's a little nostalgia there. Sorry, a little bit of people see his dad more than him. I like this Diaby kid. I ain't gonna lie. I think he's good. I think he's good. I think he's exciting, and he's just. I think we could get him early enough where not too many people will go for him and be interested in him. So yeah, I say Diaby. Oh yeah, what are you cooking me? Better include me in that. All right then. I am off out of here. Make sure you subscribe. You like. Please do that for me. I'll appreciate that. Make sure you check out the combat show later today. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.